The Golden State Warriors just punched the NBA in the throat. As you all know, NBA analysts and NBA fans around the world thought that the Golden State Warriors dynasty is done, but over the last 7 games, the Golden State Warriors have won 6 out of the 7 and are now looking back into the playoff picture. In today's video, we're going to be going through the 5 drastic changes that the Golden State Warriors made and are making as we speak for the future in order to help them make it back into the playoffs and eventually win another NBA championship this season. So make sure to like this video, and if you want daily Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. The first is Klay Thompson now coming off the bench. Now, as you all know, Klay Thompson was not happy with this decision coming off the bench, and he decided to have himself a game in the most recent one against Utah Jazz where he dropped 35 points, 6 rebounds and 2 assists, while also shooting 7 from 13 from the 3 and went 13 from 22 from the field. So he absolutely dominated that game, actually being the highest scorer in that matchup, and got the win for the Golden State Warriors. And in post interview, he did say that he was sending a message that he deserves to be in the starting lineup. So although he wasn't happy coming off the bench over some time, and after more recent interviews that did come out just yesterday, he has mentioned that he will be willing to come off the bench if it means he gets to stay with the Golden State Warriors. As you all know, the Warriors contract for Klay Thompson is actually ending this summer, and although a lot of teams are interested, Klay Thompson has made it known that he wants to stay a Warrior no matter what it takes. But I do believe that Klay Thompson coming off the bench may actually be more beneficial than we think. The reason why that I do believe he was able to drop 35 points is that he has the capability to be the main scorer for that second unit, as there are so many scorers in that first unit, including Steph Curry, Wiggins, also now Jonathan Kuminga is a part of a scoring first unit. And because of that, it does give Klay Thompson actually a lot more opportunities to shoot the ball and be able to play more flowy offense that he likes to play, which is one of the reasons why he was able to get so many shots up, but also do very well on the offense as well. And I do believe this could be very beneficial when it comes to postseason, due to the fact that having Klay Thompson, probably considered the second greatest shooter alive alongside Steph Curry, to be coming off the bench and dropping 10, 15, even 20 points per game could actually be a huge plus. On top of that, the second unit do look very stacked. You have Gary Payton II, Lester Quinones, Trayce Jackson-Davis, and now Dario Saric and Kevon Looney are also coming off the bench as well. So he's not playing with a weak second unit. He's playing with such great players, Kevon Looney, who's a NBA champion, Trayce Jackson-Davis, Gary Payton II, who are great dogs when it comes to defense. And because of that, it actually does give a more free-flowing offense for Klay Thompson to work with. The second is brandin podziemski being promoted to the starting lineup. Now, this is probably the most surprising move, and a move that we didn't think would happen with this Golden State Warriors team, but a rookie, brandin podziemski, has been promoted to the starting lineup, and he has been absolutely balling and doing a fantastic job for the Golden State Warriors. So now that Klay Thompson is the 6th man, brandin podziemski has been promoted, and he's currently averaging so far this season 9.9 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.9 assists. Now, they may sound good. However, if we actually look at his average over the last 5, where he's been getting a lot more minutes, he's actually averaging a measly 13 points, which is great to see. Also 5.7 assists and also 6.8 rebounds. So he's putting up such good numbers, and I do believe it will continue on. Now, some of the things that he does on the floor does not show up in the stat sheet, but his ability to be able to switch onto any sort of player, whether pretty much 1 through 4, and do a fantastic job at defending. His ability to rebound on offense and also defense is also really good to see. He actually had one of the most rebounding offensive nights for the Golden State Warriors in that Utah Jazz game, getting 3 offensive boards alongside Andrew Wiggins, who also got 3 as well. But on top of that, I just think podziemski is already showing telltale signs that he's going to be a great player for the future, and the fact that he is able to do all these great things as a rookie definitely does set them up for a great future ahead. And it does look like the young stars are finally getting the minutes they deserve and putting on a show while at it as well. Podziemski is a fantastic player, and I think the greatest thing about him is his efficiency on the floor. He does a great job at actually scoring, very efficient, due to the fact that since there are so many scorers in that starting lineup, he won't get a lot of shots, but he does shoot with a great percentage. So far this season, he's shooting effective field goal percentage of 47%, which is actually really good for a guard as well. His 3-point percentage is also even better at almost 39%, which is great, and a free throw percentage of 61 can definitely be improved, but I do believe that when it comes to him on the offense, he's still a great scorer all around. His ability to finish the three ball, be able to drive in the paint, or even hit that mid-range while also running pick and rolls very well definitely makes him a very versatile offensive player, even though he's more of a defensive player at that as well. His defense is second to none. His ability to guard all kind of positions, and also his ability to be able to really understand NBA offense due to the fact that he is still a rookie and is already showing signs of maturity early on in his career. The third is that Andrew Wiggins is finally bouncing back from his lackluster start of the season. Now, as you all know, Andrew Wiggins had a rocky start of the season, and it was mentioned multiple times that the Golden State Warriors were looking to trade him, and also Warriors fans were not happy with how he was playing. Now, Andrew Wiggins had a bit of a tough last season, and he's now starting to come back to his old self and be able to find himself again, not just on defense but on offense as well. Now, as we all know, Wiggins 6'7", 197 pounds, but so far this season he is averaging 12.5 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.6 assists. However, if we look at the last 3 games, he has been playing great, and even the last 5, he's definitely shown signs that he is back. And even though his shots have definitely decreased when it comes to field goal attempts, he's shooting at a very efficient rate, but also getting the job done as well. He had recently 19 points against the Utah Jazz. He had another game against Utah where he was able to drop 17 as well. But on top of that, his field goal percentage has actually been fantastic, averaging 54% from the field, which is great, and also a 3-point percentage of around 40%. So although he may not be the same star that he was a couple of years ago when they did win the championship against the Boston Celtics, due to the fact that I think that other players are starting to step up and he doesn't need to be such an offensive threat out there, especially when it comes to having now Jonathan Kuminga, Brandin podziemski, and now Klay Thompson all back healthy and being able to get a lot of minutes and a lot of opportunities to score. So we aren't expecting, Andrew Wiggins to get back to 20-25 points per game, but I do believe with the efficiency that he's shooting at, his aggressiveness, you definitely see it out there, especially on defense. He's putting on a show, which we absolutely love, and at 28 years old, he's showing a lot of promise, and that now he is finally back and is willing to try and win another NBA championship. The fourth is none other than Stephen Curry continuing to perform at a high level. Now, as we all know, the team does revolve around Stephen Curry, and he's continuing to show out even at 35 years old. He's not only put on a great show, but he's able to been such a great leader even during times when the Golden State Warriors were really struggling, and he stayed loyal to this team and is continuing to provide for this team in multiple ways. When it comes to Stephen Curry so far this season, he is averaging 28 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 5 assists. He's also shooting an effective field goal percentage of almost 60%, which is insane, free throw percentage of 92%, and also, guys, a 3-point percentage of 42%. So he's absolutely smashing the 50-40-90 club, and he is on the way there for another season, as he has done it multiple times. But when it comes to Curry in general, he has not slowed down one bit, and I think that's definitely going to be a huge asset moving forward, especially when it comes to the postseason. Although he is getting older and he is almost the same age as Klay Thompson, it does seem that Stephen Curry can still play at a very high level and still be the star of this team, and that's why the Warriors continue to really bet all their chips on Stephen Curry and building the right team around him. When it comes to Curry, over the last 5 games, he has been playing great. He's had some big games on the scoring side of things, and I think that's what's really important about Steph in general. I think when it comes to what the Warriors have tried to build, they've tried to build a lot of defensive players around Steph in order for Steph to focus on one thing, and that is scoring the basketball, which is what he does that no one else is able to do. When it comes to the 3-point, not only is he a great shooter, but he has definitely improved his versatility out there. He's not only a shooter from the outside, he's able to really dominate on the inside, also finish mid-range shots at a very high level, and I think that is going to help this game even further as time goes on, especially when it comes to crunch time when he has to close out games. But the fact that he has been playing at this high of a level for so many years hasn't really resulted in any injury. I think his longevity for this league is not only going to continue this season, but many seasons to come. The fifth is that Draymond Green is a bigger asset than we thought. Now, as you all know, Draymond Green is a fantastic player and a great defender as well, but obviously early on in the season, he was getting suspended left, right, and center, and a lot of Warriors fans and even just NBA fans in general were sick of what Draymond Green was doing on the court. But it does seem that now that he is back in the starting lineup, he's been able to provide a lot that the Warriors' other players can't really provide. And it's that defensive intensity, tenacity, and also on top of that, the leadership that he does provide for this team. He's a great leader, and he does show his veteran experience to the younger guys, whether it's Kuminga, Brandin podziemski, or even other younger players in that second unit. But when it comes comes to Draymond, he is so far averaging this season 9.7 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 6.1 assists. So he's averaging such good numbers, but on top of that, as of lately, he's been able to really put on a show when it comes to scoring more at will. We've seen Draymond in the past actually be a great three-point shooter, but when Golden State Warriors had KD, had Klay Thompson at his peak, and also Stephen Curry, we definitely saw a huge dip in actually Draymond Green's point average, and because of that, we are starting to see him go back to his old ways. In the most recent game against Utah, he actually had 23 points while also shooting 60% from the three, guys. Yes, guys, this is Draymond Green, and a lot of people didn't think he had it in him, but we all remember Draymond back in the day used to be a top of the key three-point specialist, and because of his confidence slowly coming back, we could see Draymond have himself a great scoring year. And I think there's going to be a huge asset moving forward, especially when it comes to postseason, due to the fact that a lot of the times a lot of teams would actually sag off Draymond Green quite a lot. Now that he has got the confidence to shoot that three ball once again, we should see him be able to attract more defense and let players like Steph get a lot more open.